Perfect timing, Piper. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taya, and this is Suwaru, my Desertcore island, and today we are addressing something. The scattered, broken, chaotic elephant on my island, the entrance. As you do when you're first building out an island, you don't have any items in your storage, you don't know what custom designs you need. Why are you making an entrance? Because you wanted it and you've been dreaming of this moment, and the entrance is all that matters as long as you have a good entrance. So that's what I did, and now I have regrets. Entrance regret. All the other areas on my island look beautiful,
in my opinion,
except for this one. Hello everyone, it's voiceover Taya. So first thing that we had to do, of course, was take down the existing build that I had at the entrance. I did create this on stream, and I feel like I was a little distracted when I was making it. Like I said, I didn't know quite what the exact vibe was for this area, and I hadn't been playing Animal Crossing a whole lot when I embarked on this journey of a desert island as well. But as I've gotten into it, I've developed the look and feel, so the entrance did need a refresh. And I cut in a little bit, but I tried not to go too close to my market area. Oh! Sheldon! Sheldon has a bubble! Yes! Okay, he's leaving. Amazing.
yes, he's gone. He's gone.
Essentially, the new vibe, I would like a path up through the middle. I want to show off the fact that my airport is perfectly aligned to my entrance. So I think having something a little bit more formal, a little bit more dramatic as an entrance to the island would be nice. I'd like to wrap this wall all the way around and down this side completely, blocking it off. Oh gosh, that's so many castle walls. But then it would be like the shopping district and the resident services area are like the main city. And then my house would be slightly outside of the city as its own fortress. I really love this idea of having a city, like a walled city area. I've used so many castle walls on this island. I just ran back to the entrance to see how it would look from a distance, and I liked the kind of two tiles in between resident services and where the wall began. And I just started laying down castle walls and towers and tried to space them out so that they would have an even flow. I did kind of a staggered progression of castle walls up through the back and behind my market area. So I'm kind of trying to mimic that. I ended up with an awkward single space area, so I had to go back in and kind of adjust what I was thinking, add in another tower. When it comes to castle walls, for me, I have to play with it, and it ended up being that I had to move it a half space forward on this side. So just shuffling everything up. Let's just skip forward. Let's just get to this whole wall is in place. Let's get to the meat. Now that that's done, I like that this is kind of an enclosed look. I think that that's cool. So you have the market on one side, and then you'll come down around here and you have resident services, and then you know, like, I'm enclosed in this area. So I think that I have overused this path by now. I love it, and it does suit perfectly, but I kind of want a little bit more variety. What if I make it like a little bit extra and a little bit like more white colors around the entrance and make kind of like a promenade through the middle here with statues and kind of make it a little bit more fancy. So I recorded this on stream with my members, my channel members, the Goldie Branches, and everybody agreed that it should be more fancy and that this white tile was really going to do the trick. I love it to pieces. I have some border pieces, and I even have my pond code that I use again. Well, it's not really a pond, it's more of like a reflection pool. So I really tried to accentuate the fact that my resident services and airport are aligned. I'm gonna say that 1,000 times in this video, and Sheldon just had to have his final moment in the spotlight before he leaves the island forever, literally just following me around. It was actually kind of cute. But he will be leaving, and actually, when this video is posted on Saturday, we are streaming at 3 p.m. Eastern time if you want to swing by and see that villager hunt happen in real time. I have a list of villagers that I'm interested in, and I am excited. And this was the moment that I realized I was gonna put in 2 reflection pools right here, and I got so excited. This is a path by Mashed Potatoes that I've had saved for this island for a while, but I really didn't know that I would be using it this much, and I really love it. I'm gonna cry. Like, look at that. And then I'll put the fountains behind that. I am excited. I think this is the like grand type of entrance that I wanted. It's completely different from the other one, but I think this will also make the sparseness of the desert more deserty if I have this crowded, cluttered, but also like really formal entrance. Beautiful. It's like an entrance to a palace. Exactly. Overall, at this point, I knew that the vision was there and I was gonna make it work no matter what, but I was so indecisive. I had a vision slightly for what I wanted this to be, but I think I was in a little bit of denial that it was gonna come out as like regal and fancy as a palace. However, that is the vibe that we're giving, right? I think, in my head, picturing it to be kind of a rundown, like moldy desert palace, not something that's really super crisp and like almost resort-like, if that makes sense. I also just realized in editing this recording of me streaming to the Goldie Branches that I say, if that makes sense, too much, and I'm gonna try to stop, but I'm probably gonna end up saying it a million times. So we created the 2 little reflection pools in the front, but then also back here, I created an area that's gonna be for some park fountains. And I have no idea why I didn't make these 2 areas the exact same dimensions right off the bat, but I had to lay down everything first and then decide to change it entirely. And that was just the name of the game. When it came to this this build, I ended up taking 2 steps forward, 2 steps back the entire time. I felt kind of bad for the Goldie Branches who were on this stream because we were just hanging out while I did pathing the entire time. However, I will say it is so satisfying that the way this pathing comes together, I end up having 2 spaces at the front of the island for a walkway, 2 spaces in the middle for like a midway walkway through these 2 sections between the pool and the fountains, and then I get 2 spaces right next to resident services where I do add like a little more of a seating moment, and it turns out so cute. But because of the busyness of this path, I think it took me a little bit to figure out exactly what I was doing with it, and I ended up really loving it. I ended up using so many different kinds of pathing in this area and then covering most of it up with furniture. So even if it looks a little bit busy right now, it does get filled out quite a lot as I am working on it. I love the pathway that I end up using inside underneath the park fountain area. That makes me so happy. It's so busy. It's so crazy. It gets covered up almost entirely, but I absolutely love it. Okay, I'm gonna have to do like another path along the edges. The only thing that I have is like this one that has that like edge look. I could do like an edge of that. That color. What the actual hell is going on? I could not plan that. Are you kidding me? Ah! let's continue that on the other side. It's a nice contrast. And the colors, like the blue and orange. I love that. I think it'd be a great way to tie the areas together. That's true too. Like that was such a different color to every other area on my island that having a little border of that pattern is actually really helpful. So once I had the path all in place, I realized that I had a lot of trees and things in my pockets. I decided to just place everything back down, more clustered around the edges of this entrance area, and I think it filled it out a lot and kind of disguised the plainness of that castle wall border. And then I'm going in with some iron garden benches. I thought it was super cute. Originally, I did try the Moroccan sofas, but they were just too vibrant. And just to separate this entrance area from the bazaar that's just to the right-hand side of this build, I used some of these plant partitions. I end up putting some fencing. I was being a stubborn little butthead when I was doing this build. I did not have a lot of plant partitions. I actually ended up ordering some and then going to the next day carefully because Sheldon would be in boxes, so I had to make sure that I wasn't going to go too far. But I was lazy to go to a treasure island. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. My computer has been having many issues. This is a complete aside from what is happening on screen right now, but I didn't have at the time everything set up to go to an OrderBot island. Now I have everything set up. It should work perfectly fine. But yeah, so I was trying to be frugal with my plant partitions, but in doing that, I ended up coming up with a creative solution using hedges. That was a long story about plant partitions, and I feel like I've said plant partitions 1,000 times. Oh, yes. What a difference from where you started today, right? It was like scattered. It wasn't cohesive. This is like, okay, cohesive. Oh my gosh, Clay. What a good little guy. And that is where I left the Goldie branches for the day. We just finished up a little bit more on the pathing. I was so incredibly indecisive that we barely put down any furniture while I was with the Goldie branches. And now it's just me. It's just you and me, baby. And we're building an entrance that's gonna knock your socks off. That was an expletive gap. Just insert your favorite expletive into that. It's gonna knock your blank socks off. Your blankin' socks off. Why does that even sound like a swear word? It's gonna knock your blankin' socks off. That's okay. Am I right? So the next day, I think I got into the groove a little bit better. I was able to go all out and go fancy. I did go to some OrderBot islands. Thank you, Walty Wartooth from Twitch. I am a member. And if you are interested in OrderBots at all, I did make a very informative video on what OrderBots are and how they work. Which I actually had to follow myself because it had been a while since I went to an OrderBot island. So that was pretty funny, having to watch my own tutorial in order to figure out how to go to an OrderBot. I also had to install it on a new computer, so that was a bit of an adventure. Definitely go check out that video because I tried to get it set up without watching the video again, and it was a pointless exercise in futility. I just realized that while I'm saying it was a pointless exercise, I was dragging a bench across when I could have just picked it up and put it back down, which is what I did on the other side. So at least I learned from my mistakes. And these Turkey Day garden stands that I have put at the front, I have put those down and picked them up so many times, it's disgusting. And I saved you from that, okay? I saved you from the horrors of watching me put those down and pick them up 5,000 times, but let's pick them up one more time and place them down here on the other side of the iron garden benches, which I think is a much better spot for them. I love these two little seating areas that I put right close to resident services, and I hope that my villagers freaking use them so that I can take cute pictures of them. Speaking of cute pictures of them, we're almost at the end. I do end up putting in some Pisces lamps after going to another treasure island just so that I could get the flyover on the way back so that I could share that with you because it's looking absolutely stunning. But thank you all for watching today. Enjoy the final shots of the island, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody. I waved. I actually just waved at my camera. There's nobody here with me. Okay, bye.